Ready? Okay! $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. All for queer channels, stand up and holler. M-O-N-O-C-O-L-Y. Monopoly, monopoly, get
the more it freezes out women's ownership and minority ownership. And although the purpose of the hearing today is to talk about localism, we know that the status of ownership, particularly local ownership and diverse ownership, has an impact on whether that local community.
Freedom of speech. We are for our voices to be heard, not just in America, but across, for, with, and by the people. We are for media airwaves that are owned and controlled by and for the people.
The point of it is this, is that we are at the threshold where we can decide if we're going back to the kind of media that I grew up with, where there were 4 channels and you only ended up on TV if you were rich or a criminal, or we can go forward. And the way to go forward is to make sure that we keep these doors open for another 10 or 15 years so that the next generation of young people expect to have a voice in media, expect to be able to speak for themselves, and expect to be able to identify themselves. Now, in the meeting that Josh was talking about, they're getting ready to try to roll back the existing contracts from cable franchises. The access community is not going to allow this. We are not going quietly into the night. We are going to fight for every inch of territory.
People struggling to achieve their rights in big cities and in little communities all over the country that shocked the conscience of the nation and helped to move us forward because Americans didn't like what they were seeing. They know they were better than that. They want civil rights for all Americans, and they understand what it meant. So media ownership is a civil rights issue. Media diversity is
a pleasure to be a part of it. I am so happy here today to see almost every speaker refer to women, which does not happen. The Women's Media Center was created to make women visible and powerful in the media. And you know what works against that is media consolidation. The more levels you have at the top, the smaller, the fewer the companies, the lower women are in the ranks. Most people see women on local television, for instance, and think the problem has been solved. The figure that we use is 3%. Those are the positions of clout that women hold in mainstream media. Ownership, less than 3% of television and radio stations. In radio, 85 to 95% of all managers and general managers, programmers, and on-air people are men. This is in the year 2006.
We're taught that the best things in life are free. One of those is the airwaves. We've sold them. Worse than that, we've sold them to too few people that have too much control of the outcome of what we see. In some senses, what we do not see diminishes our humanity, diminishes what we respond to.
In January of 2005, the same year the tsunami song aired, I was home on Dr. King's birthday, and I heard that song on the airwaves that said, to the song, "We Are the World," as your African and Asian people and chinks were dying. That's what they made fun of. And someone on the top signed off on that Hot 97 DJ to do this. Miss Jones didn't do that on her own. Someone on the top, a 50-plus-year-old white man, said that is okay. The same white man that said that in a meeting 4 weeks later said to us, "I don't let my kids listen to that music." And we said to him, "But it's okay for you to be a multi-millionaire in Indiana and let my child listen to it? It's poison."
For too long, allowed others to depict images and symbols of what they think we look like from a stereotypical point of view. Those days are gone. There's a new awakening. We are awake now, and we are standing
to these rallies. We will go into the boardrooms. We will stand up to big media, and we will say, this cannot be, this will not be, this shall not be. We know that we have great and positive people out there who are trying to make a difference in the lives of our children. We will stand with you wherever you are, whether it's in Georgia, whether it's in Gina, whether it's in New Orleans. We will be there. We will stand up and we will say, big media must go, because we've got a job to do to make this a democracy for all the people, including women of color and all women.